Christianity is supernatural or it is nothing at all. Galatians says, having begun where? Anybody know this verse? Having begun in the Spirit. Where does the gospel begin? In the Spirit. And he challenges them. He says, having begun in the Spirit, do you think you can actually live this out in the flesh? That's what he's asking that church. He said, you're born by the Spirit. And having begun in the Spirit, do you think now this is just about external actions? It's about encounter. It's about relationship with God in the Spirit. Spirit and truth. You see, you cannot avoid it. You cannot avoid it. So there's something missing. We like to just sit there and go, well, it's just going to be like this. It's just going to be like this. And the church has negated its greatest, I would say, one of the greatest privileges we have, and that's an encounter with the Holy Spirit. And we've allowed fear to inundate us. We've allowed fear to come into the heart of the believer. And we teach fear to the, well, we don't want to do that. Here's one of my favorites. We don't want to have a prophetic word because we don't want to start hearing voices. I had a guy literally tell me that. He's like, well, we don't want to start hearing voices. My response was, well, whose voice are you listening for? I read in my gospel, my sheep hear my voice. Okay? I read in Revelation, those who have an ear to hear, let them hear what the Spirit says to the churches. So the Spirit's speaking. If we'll listen. Somebody, well, God's already spoken. He's spoken through His Word. Yep, spoken through His Word. Absolutely. Logos. He's also speaking through His Spirit, Rhema, and He's also speaking through His prophetic. He's also speaking to us prophetically by His Spirit. He's speaking through Word, He's speaking through revelation, and He's speaking through direct voice to those who will hear Him.